Okay, so next is the management. Obviously, in management, there are history, examination, investigations, treatment, and then follow-up. So, obviously, that state of poisoning is an emergency, and you will not be obtaining histories like you do in OPD. So, you will be obtaining a very quick kind of history, and in that, you will just figure out the treatment choice you want. You will be proceeding with, right? And to confirm that exactly what happened to the patient, or if the patient is unconscious, we'll fetch the information from the attendants. So patient is not going to tell you that I have nausea, vomiting, nor are the attendants going to tell you that he has right upper quadrant pain and all that. So how are you going to obtain the history? If the patient is conscious, obtain from him. Even if he is conscious and you have obtained history from the patient, you should go for the attendants, because we have no idea if the patient is psychologically well or not. In case of poisoning, even if he is, maybe the poisoning may have caused some kind of delirium or confusion, right? So you have to obtain a very quick history and to know about the drug that the patient has used, through which route he has taken, how much, at what time, and does he take this has he taken this many times in the past, means is he doing this for a very long time, or is it his first time, or is he psychologically normal or not? You will be assessing him, and you will be also obtaining the past medical, surgical, drug histories. Does he have any known drug allergies, or does he take alcohol, or is a smoker, or any other drug addict? So you are going to find out all of it, and then you are going to decide your treatment. And obviously, if the patient is unconscious or he's not able to convey the proper history to you, most of the time he won't, you will be obtaining it from the attendants. And if the attendant has the particular bottle or anything that the patient has consumed that poison from, or you will tell them to show that to you. Obviously they would have brought, and if they haven't, just proceed with your examination. Obviously in examination, the patient, in case of paracetamol poisoning, will have right upper quadrant pain, renal angle pain, the kidneys and liver will be proceeding towards failure. So you will find out these things. And general physical examination, you will have a quick look, not detailed one. You will have a quick look if the patient is having any signs of distress, cyanosis, jaundice, seizures, any kind of edema, shortness of breath, whatever. Just have a generalized look. Just have a quick. Everything should be very quick. You should have all your staff there, the nurses, the ward boy, everything. Next, in case of poisoning, obviously it's an emergency. You can't first diagnose, wait for the results of the tests and then go for the treatment. No, you will be doing it quickly and side by side. So in medicine, we follow the ABCDE protocol. We call it ABC protocol, and D and E are also with it. So this is airway, breathing, circulation, decontamination, and environment control. In case of airway, obviously if the patient is not able to breathe on his own, he is unconscious, GCS is less than 8, you intubate. There are many options. You just have to mention that we have to maintain the airway and the breathing. For breathing, you may need to give him oxygen mask or anything like that. Then circulation, obviously the patient may be in shock. You will have to figure that out. You will have to monitor the urine output. You will have to observe the patient, his vitals, and in this way you will find out if he is in shock or not. If he is in shock, you'll treat the shock. You will give IV bolus of fluids. You will maintain basically 2 wide bore IV catheters, one for the fluids and one for the baseline investigations, which will be your complete blood count, urea electrolytes, RFTs, LFTs. You will also be obtaining, if you are suspecting paracetamol poisoning, based on the history, you will be obtaining the blood paracetamol concentration. Its reports are late, so you won't wait for the results. You will start intervention earlier. We will talk about that. Also, you will measure the weight of the patient as well, because if you want to give him antidote, if the antidote is available, like in case of paracetamol, acetylcysteine is a antidote. It is available. So to administer that, you need to know the weight of the patient. You should know if the patient is conscious or not according to the GCS scale. What is his GCS score? It is very frequently measured. You should perform his 12-lead ECG to check how his heart is functioning. Are there any changes in the ECG or not? Then in case of paracetamol, I don't think that there would be any kind of decontamination except for the GI decontamination. That is very important. We'll talk about that. And environment control, make sure that your environment is warm, not too warm or too cold. It should be causing comfort to the patient. It should be comfortable for the patient, right? And in case antidote is not available, you will proceed with the supportive treatment. So supportive treatment is a must. You should give that. And then we move on towards a definitive treatment of paracetamol poisoning.